Hey everyone and welcome back. In today's video, we will be discussing about the CI/CD methodology. Now, I'm pretty sure that most of you already know what CI/CD is. In fact, this is one of the requirements if you go in organizations as a DevOps. So CI/CD is one of the skills that organization expects you to know for the DevOps position. So let's go ahead and understand what CI is, what CD is, and its importance. Now, continuous integration is a process of basically automating the build as well as testing of the code every time a team member commits it to a central repository. So this is more of a textbook definition. So let's understand this with a example. So this is a Git repository, and let's assume that someone has committed a new code to this Git repository. So now what would happen is there is a CI server, which is a continuous integration server. Now, as soon as a new code is committed to a Git repository, the CI server will automatically poll the latest code, and then it will do certain things like it will go ahead and compile the application code. It will go ahead and it can run the unit tests against these code. Along with that, it can do a lot of things which you can define the CI server to do. So in this diagram, what we have is we have compile application code and we have run unit test against the code. Now, if these two things go successful, we can even ask CI server to send us an email saying that the newly changed committed code has not only compiled successfully, but it also has successfully gone through the unit test. So this is what a continuous integration is all about. So generally it is assumed that the CI server or the CD is only useful for the developers, but it is not so. It is extremely useful even when it comes to the operations team standpoint. So many times what happens is that you want to validate a lot of things, like many of the organizations, they have automated the AMI provisioning, they have automated the infrastructure as a code based approach. So you might need a CI server which basically can validate your infrastructure as a code template. It can validate your JSON or YAML templates that you are writing, and if they are validated, it can go ahead and automatically build a AMI. So continuous integration is also useful for the operations team as well. Now, after continuous integration, the next part is the continuous delivery. Now, continuous delivery is basically the process of pushing the code into the live environment. This is one of the simplest definitions. So once the CI server has verified that the code that is being pushed has compiled successfully, it has verified that the unit test is correct, what it can then do is the next stage is the continuous delivery, where it goes ahead and deploys the successfully compiled code into the dev environment, into the staging environment, and even into the production environment. So that is the continuous delivery. So there are two terms. One is the continuous integration. In continuous integration, you compile the code, you verify if everything is working perfectly, you do the syntax based checking. All of those are the continuous integration. Now, once everything is verified, everything is working perfectly, you now have to move that code into the live environment. It can be development, it can be staging, it can be production. So deploying that code into the live environment is called as the continuous delivery. So this is the reason why CI and CD are generally referred as a single term. Now, one important thing that you need to understand is the difference between continuous delivery versus continuous deployment. Now, let's understand this with an example where you have a source code. Now, the source code is automatically built. So if you have a continuous integration pipeline, as soon as you commit the source code, it goes ahead and automatically builds. If it builds perfectly, it gets deployed into the staging environment. So this stage is the continuous delivery stage. And once it gets deployed into the staging environment and everything is working perfectly, you get a sign off from the QA team. Then the deployment to the production environment is manual. So this step is called as the continuous delivery. Now you also have continuous deployment where the steps are same. You have a source code, it gets built up, it goes to the staging environment, and then it is automatically deployed in the production environment. So this manual step of deploying it into the production environment is not present in the continuous deployment phase. So do remember the difference between the continuous delivery and continuous deployment. So this is a very high level overview about the CI and CD. I hope you understood in a very high level overview what CI is and what CD is all about. Now in the next video, we will go ahead and discuss about the version control. So I hope this has been informative for you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.